The first dilemma is from Diox. Don't know if I said that right, but either way, hey Jordan, I struggle a lot in terms of confidence. I really want to be the best version of myself. I want to be seen as a confident guy rather than a shy clown. Well, Diox, still don't know if I'm saying that right, but the first problem that I see is that you're focused more on how other people perceive you as opposed to how you feel about yourself. That's a mistake that a lot of people make, including myself. Okay, for the first probably 20 years of my life, I viewed myself in third person. I was a side character in my own life. Okay, and I know it's a very subtle distinction to make, but once you acknowledge that, once you understand the difference between living your life for you and your experience and living your life for other people and their perceptions of your experience, your whole life transforms. Okay, that's when you start to make quantum leaps in not only your confidence, but in every aspect of your life. Okay, you start to find success, you start to find love, these things start to flow towards you because a lot of people are living in third person and they gravitate towards people who are living in first person. This is what enables people to be YouTubers, to be content creators. It's that we live our lives in first person and people gravitate towards us as a result. Now, with that being said, if you need some pragmatic advice on how to be confident, like I said, it starts with living your life through your perspective, through your personal perceptions. Okay, and that doesn't mean you need to be closed-minded to what other people think, but focus on how you feel first. Okay, make that your priority. How do I feel in this situation? And once you start to develop that trust within yourself, the confidence will naturally follow. Okay, because confidence is really just trust and love of yourself. Now, how do you develop authentic confidence, deeply rooted confidence that enables you to live your life in first person? It starts with examining your shadows. Okay, all of us have a shadow within us. And within that shadow, we have placed plenty of memories, beliefs, feelings, thoughts, perceptions about the world that we don't want to face. Okay, so we've hidden them away in this little box. We've tried to seal them away, but they have a way of making themselves known whenever we ignore them. For example, if you deprive a child of attention, that child will throw a temper tantrum. In the same way, when you deprive these beliefs, these negative self-perceptions of the attention that they deserve, they throw temper tantrums and you find yourself in a situation where you see yourself as a shy clown and you just assume that everyone does as well. Okay, a lot of times, bro, the things that we're insecure about, we are the source of those insecurities. We may have had one isolated event in our childhood that caused us to feel this way, but in reality, it wasn't the event itself. All events are neutral. It was our perception of the event. Okay, now you have to figure out what that event or what those events might have been for you that caused you to believe that you are a shy clown. Okay, but understand that that is a perception that you hold, and anybody who has reinforced that perception to you can only reinforce it if you held it in the first place. Okay, so it all starts with you. Confidence starts from within. This is why I always say that you have to love yourself as you are right now instead of trying to improve yourself to a point where you feel lovable, because you won't be able to outrun your shadow. Your shadow will always be there, no matter what level you ascend to in life, no matter how much money you make, how much success, validation you find, no matter how many women you get. It doesn't matter, okay? Deep down, you will still feel those limiting beliefs and they will always hold you back and weigh you down. So it all starts with you examining your shadows, and it is a lengthy process. It's uncomfortable to confront the shadows, but it's necessary if you want true, authentic confidence, if you want to start living your life for you and your personal happiness and well-being. You have to examine the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from doing so. That's where it starts. Now, in addition to that, another thing that you can do is put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Okay, whenever we are faced with adversity and we overcome adversity, that has a certain way of helping us build that trust within ourselves. Okay, especially if in that process you can overcome or illuminate some of the beliefs that you may hold in the shadows. For example, okay, when I was 18 years old, which you're 18 right now. I don't know if you're still 18 as I'm making this video, but at the time of this dilemma, you were 18. When I was 18, I took my first solo trip to New York City. First time I ever left the state by myself. First time I ever left the city by myself. And I had these perceptions about myself that I was still a child, that I couldn't take care of myself. I wasn't self-sustaining, that I couldn't socialize with people. But when I put myself in an environment where I was forced to do that to survive, okay, when you're walking around Times Square and you have to get back to Brooklyn and your phone is dead and you don't know how to take the subway, you start having to transcend your limiting beliefs. So, for example, the belief that I held about myself that I was incapable of socializing with people, that I was incapable of approaching a stranger and asking them a question, or maybe the belief that I could do things all on my own, that I didn't need help. A lot of those beliefs were shattered on that trip. I came back from that trip a completely different person in 4 days. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go to that extreme, but do things that force you to transcend your limiting beliefs. But first, illuminate them. Figure out what your limiting beliefs are, and then take inspired action to transcend them. And you'll develop an authentic, unshakable, unwavering confidence in yourself. Because if you give yourself the confidence, if you're not reliant on anyone else to give it to you, if you're not relying on anyone else's validation for you to know that you're complete and whole and worthy of love from yourself, nobody else can take it from you. You see, other people can only take the confidence that they gave to you in the first place. But if you're giving it to yourself, they can't take that from you. The next dilemma is from Emmanuel. Hi, Jordan. I have a problem with nofap. I'm always failing to maintain long streaks and always fail to fight my urges. I'm turning 17 soon and I want to end my addiction. I'm someone who believes that I'm destined for greatness and I feel like there's something out there waiting for me, but I don't know what. I'm graduating high school next year and I don't know what career to choose from, even though I don't think I'm meant for a 9-to-5 job. Okay, Emmanuel, so I've been making quite a few videos recently on how to overcome nofap urges, but I want to give you a quick little tip that I've been using myself. Okay, if you want to develop God-like discipline, here's what you need to do. The next time you get an urge, okay, strong urge, preferably, sit there with no distractions and just be present in that urge. Don't act on it, but be present with it. Acknowledge it. Accept it for what it is. It's a part of your biological nature. Okay, you as a man want to reproduce. It's part of your biological nature. You want to expand your DNA. We all come here to expand, no matter what level of life you live on, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever. We all want to expand in some way, shape, or form. It's embedded within our subconscious mind. Okay, so sit there and be present with your urges, and you will develop unshakable discipline. If you can overcome an urge without any external stimuli, any distractions, if you will, you're immune. You won't relapse. If you give yourself the opportunity to be present where you are in your experience, even through temptation, especially through temptation, you develop unshakable discipline that will carry over into every other aspect of your life. Now, as far as you feeling like you're meant for greatness but not knowing what that is, I am right there with you. Okay, I've had that persistent, lingering feeling pretty much from birth. As far back as I can remember, I've had that feeling. And look at me now, okay? This is where I've ended up. But I got here by following my intuition. Following my intuition. If you have that feeling within you that you are meant for greatness, you have to follow your intuition. Because if you try to rationalize your way through life, you'll only ever get to places that you've seen or been to already. But if you want to get to a place that maybe doesn't exist yet, or maybe hasn't been brought into your awareness yet, you're going to have to trust your faith. Now, I don't know what you have faith in. I'm not here to start a discussion about religion, but what I will say is that you have to find faith in something. If nothing else, find faith in yourself, in that gut feeling that you have, and follow that. Follow that, okay? You say that you're not meant for a 9-to-5 job. I'm right there with you, okay? Follow that. Listen to that. Understand that. Now, it may take you working a 9-to-5 to get to that next level. That might be a stepping stone along your path. For me personally, I had to work a job to get to where I am. But at the same time, I knew when it was time to let go, when it was time to move on to that next step. But I only knew that via the power of my intuition.